Level 95, the long road to Tural. Aaronville is ready to set off. Ready to get underway? And present your travel pass to that guard and let us be off. You won't have to wait long to enjoy sightseeing. The bridge to Tural is a wonder in its own right. The gate is barred to all save those with express permission from one of the Dawn servants. Signed by Vol Lamotte herself. My apologies, miss, if you would wait here just a moment.
Shall we then? On the far side of that great bridge unfolded the wilds of Shaloni, where the sun guides in the Shatonaton. A harsh guide, to be sure, with its blazing rays scorching the land and hardening its inhabitants. But sweeping change had come to the arid expanse when, beneath its red crust, vast deposits of ceruleum were discovered. Embracing this opportunity, Vau Kona supporters hurtle on, driven by dreams of a future illuminated by blue flame. It is here that our journey continues, our path taking us along winding roads of steel. Each length of track a declaration of hope and ambition.
Tural, Shaloni.
My home, Yasulani, lies past Shaloni. It will be a long journey, but the railroad should make it easier.
Railroad. I mean, it's not a trolley, but...
As for the way to the train station, let's ride these fellows, shall we?
Short on... I can't see it. That two R's? It looked like an M at first. Short on Ronique. Afraid so. If one will suffice, I have a creature ready and waiting. If you need two, then you'll have to wait. Ronique have been acting strangely of late, more easily spooked and otherwise disagreeable, picking out the few fit for Renton's proven bothersome work. They're usually so docile, and the ones I saw earlier didn't appear to be unhealthy either. Much has changed since last I was here. Not the best start to our journey. Still, the train station isn't far. Seeing as we aren't in a hurry, let's go on foot. About that, sir, as well traveled as you look, it's not only the Ronique that have been giving us trouble, other wildlife has shown signs of aggression too. Merchant should be returning soon with one of our beasts. Stick around till they do, and I'll see you both on Ronique for a safer trip. Your offer is most appreciated, but I don't think my friend here is particularly concerned about the wildlife. Actually, I may be a little concerned. But the Ronique, Aaronville, the Ronique. Whatever gets us where we're going faster. If this is your first time in Shaolani, I can understand your enthusiasm. It'd be a shame not to ride one at least once while you're here. Fair point. We're to give you the authentic Shaolani experience. I suppose it's worth the wait. Alright, change of plans. There's a small town nearby. We can pass the time there while waiting. Take it you're headed into Usatawi, and I'll have a man bring the Ronique over there. Mind yourself around the drunkards and troublemakers, eh? My kind of crowd. Super. Last time I was here, it was little more than a camp with a shop or three.
Well, well. It's become a proper town.
Eat the right and everything.
Hey!
Now hold on a minute.
Some sort of trouble.
I'm talking to you, you old bastard.
Give me strength. For the last time, the investigation is closed. There's no refuting the evidence.
I don't give a shit about your evidence, you lying scum. You release my friends, or I'll make you wish you had.
Let me remind you who the scum is here. Your friends, who had the temerity to point their firearms at me, the deputy chief of the Dust Watch. And after taking them into custody, what should we discover but incontrovertible proof that they had committed larceny? They will not be released until they've paid for their crimes.
I'd heard the peacekeeping force had been formed to deal with growing lawlessness. Seems the situation is bad indeed.
Best.
Still can't get up a fuss, eh? Sounds like poor Zekua needs his bottle.
Sure he wouldn't prefer his mama's teat?
Damn.
Treat me like a child, will you? My friends haven't done anything wrong, damn it! They've been framed!
Have they now?
Oh, stubborn little runt. Listen here, Zekua. If you want to be treated like an adult, then you'd best comport yourself like one. That means respecting the rule of law. Order may be precarious here in Shaloni, but it can be had if each man does the right thing. And for those that don't, well, they have to answer to the Dust Watch. Now run along and think before you cast aspersions next time. Lest you hurt my feelings.
Fine. If that's how it's gonna be.
I wouldn't if I were you.
Ian.
Is that?
There's a time to fight and a time to withdraw. For you, that's now.
What? Hey!
What are you doing, Zekawa? You better not be stirring up trouble.
Wahute! You sack of Ronek shit! This ain't over! You hear me?
You want to tell me what that was about?
Nothing that need concern you, sir. Zekawa is simply struggling to come to terms with the low character of his friends. But for good measure, I'll have the men keep an eye on him.
Yes, you do that.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll go make my rounds.
I wasn't expecting to see your faces among the crowd. Talk is rife, there's a new Dawn servant. Take it you found it then. The Golden City.
Aye, the contest is over. And as I needed to return home to Yasulani, I offered to show our friends some of Shak Tural. What brings you north?
Nothing in particular. Just seeing what there is to see.
Going wherever the wind blows, eh? How very like you.
Gulul Jaja compensated me rather generously for our duel. I'll be able to enjoy a comfortable life on the road for the foreseeable future.
We'll see about that.
But for now, I shall be moving on. Oh, by the way, I recommend you try the Sabatender. They may not look it. They're surprisingly delicious.
But we don't serve Sabotender here.
It's been a while since you've been here. No sooner do we set out than we run into excitement. At least no one was hurt. This Dust Watch has their work cut out for them. For as long as I can remember, all disputes, big or small, were settled by dueling. Peoples of Shaolani rarely saw eye to eye, and for better or worse, it was the simplest way to settle differences. As most would sooner not risk their lives, though, it encouraged parties to pursue peaceful resolutions in a roundabout fashion. The Dust Watch was likely established by supporters of Koana preferring peace be enforced through the formal rule of law. Reasonable stance, all things considered. If things ever got out of hand, the Lands Guard would be forced to step in. What freedom they have now would be lost under Zoral Jha's authority. All of which is to say that, unless a lengthy stay in a jailhouse appeals to you, be mindful of how you handle your arms in town. Level 95, the long road to Jacques Tural. Leave. Level 95, saddled up. Aaronville would not dither about for long. I'd like to think the stableman has arrived with the Bronique by now. Go on ahead to check. If you still want to have a look around, then be my guest. Come and find us when you've had your fill. Go attune to this ether, right? Lock that real quick. The friend, I take it? Sorry to have kept you both waiting. Unruly wildlife's not the only source of recent distress, I'm afraid. Also been a rise in robberies targeting merchants. As a result, we've got a lengthy list of folks wanting to use our Ronique. Which is why I have to ask that you stop by Sheshinezwezi Springs. That's fine, of course, but why haven't the Dustwatch dealt with this banditry? Kameka and his fellows are doing what they can, but they reckon the bandits are operating as a gang. Rounding them all up's easier said than done. If you have anything of value, you'll want to take care. Thank you for the warning. We'll be sure to stay vigilant. Right then, if you're ready to set off, I'll see you on your way. Ready? Then saddle up. Your friend seems to know the way, so I won't bother giving you directions. Mount the Ronique can travel with Aaronville. Yes. This is your first time, so let's take it slow. Take care not to let it toss you. I continue to be struck by how much Shaolani has changed. The town we just visited wasn't even here several years ago. Few reliable opportunities to replenish water supplies. Travelers turn to opala tenders. Not just for the water and their stems, mind. Their fruits are also said to be both nutritious and delicious. New location. See that hole there? Some might hope to find water there, but it is brimming with ceruleum. The eruption of flames from within make for a spectacle, inspiring cautionary tales of people who wander too close. The Wallaki, meanwhile, show great reverence to ceruleum and its blue flames. Hey, we know some Wallaki. That is a discussion for another time. We're here. Blue Mage. Good thing for these Ronique. No sooner did we dismount than the next passengers are already on their way. They really are short on Ronique. Now then. This is Sheshinezwezi Springs, perhaps the busiest town here in Shaolani. People travel here from all over hoping to find their fortune. Change come to Usatawi was surprising enough, but this is no less impressive. They've achieved a great deal in the 3 years I've been away. The station is on the eastern side of town, but there should still be time before the next train departs. If you don't mind, I'd like to pay a visit to an old friend of my mentor. Iyate is her name, and she learned that I passed through without saying a word. She'd never let me hear the end of it. She set out from our village some 10 years ago, hoping to earn coin as she traveled about Tural. I can but assume she too came here seeking greater opportunities. In any case, let us see if we can find her. Her blue hair should make her easy to spot. into this ether, right? Don't see her anywhere. Yeah. I feel like I'm missing something obvious. What am I missing? Maybe inside somewhere? Oh, there it is. Couldn't see it. Yes, I'm Ayate, and who might you be? She's my friend. Could it be? Goodness, it is. Helena Aaronville, yes. Man grown, you were such a darling little thing as a child. You know, it's only been 3 years since last we spoke. Really, only 3. I suppose it all starts to get hazy after a while, living as long as we do. This is Ayate. She's known my mentor since they were children. Nice to meet you. Never thought I'd see the day when you travel with company. You really have grown. Eleneshbaya. Eleneshbaya. They keep calling him by that name, and he keeps saying he doesn't like it. Elena, what now? Is that what they call you here? Yeah, because the Dawn servant called him that too. Started to. Alright, I was born Eleneshbaya. I adopted a new name when I became a gleaner, one that adheres to Eastern Viera conventions, so as to avoid drawing attention. Given that this is a homecoming, it was only a matter of time before you found out. Nevertheless, I would appreciate it if you would continue using my chosen name. Call you whatever you want. homecoming, you know, I've been thinking of paying the old stamping grounds a visit myself. It would be good to see Kalshia again. Kalqui. She's the finest archer I know, Eleneshpia's mother and mentor. Every time I dropped by, she'd treat us to a veritable feast prepared with fresh game she'd hunted herself. You're impressive with the bow too, Ayate, even among the Shitona. I couldn't compare to Kakui, but her skill at arms pales in comparison to her knowledge of nature. That's what earned her a place among Gulu Jaja's traveling companions, after all. She was always the inquisitive sort, but her journey across Tural lit a fire in her. Even after Lenashpa was born, she often left him in my care so that she could embark on another expedition in search of the unknown. Oh, how you would cry and beg her to take you along. It must have been hard on you. Ayate, please. But we're all friends here, aren't we? No matter how many times he asked, the answer was always the same. You can come when you prove you're a true explorer. Thus did she task me with finding the Golden City. Despite my best efforts, all paths led nowhere. I assumed it was but a dreamer's fancy, a ploy to goad me into experiencing the wider world. But it was real, and we found it. You found it? As part of the rite of succession, I assumed everyone had heard. It's amazing. Oh, she'll be thrilled. And eager to bombard me with questions, no doubt. Well, we should be on our way. Thank you so much for stopping by. I give my best to Kausia. Help, I need help. What's that about? We'll investigate. Please wait here. No doubt these are the infamous local bandits. Please, you have to help. I've been robbed. It's Namika, Wuklamat's nursemaid. Why is she here? Aaronville, Zilly. Come any closer and we'll slit her throat from ear to ear. I have magic. I don't have to get any closer. If you so much as nick her skin, you won't live to regret it. Oh yeah? Hold on, did he say this is Wuklamat's nursemaid? Maybe this ain't such a good idea. Take the goods to the boss, we'll deal with this. Please, you have to give it back. Going after Namika, this lot I leave to you. Cocky bastard, I'll hang him by the ears and feed the old woman to the dogs. We can deal with them later. First, we need to put this one in the dirt. Was quick. Alien. Alien. Church. Thank you. I don't know what I would have done without you. Bandit managed to get away, but I have an idea of where they're headed. Said they stole something from you? A bracelet. It was a parting gift from Wuklamat. I see. Close as you two were, I can only imagine how much it meant to you. But what brings you all this way? The right of succession ended and Wuklamat crowned the next Dawn servant. She is ready to stand on her own. I told her as much and of my plans to return home to Yasalani. She gave me the bracelet that I might always remember our time together. Filled me with such joy. I wanted everyone to know, everyone to see this wonderful gift given to me by the vow of resolve, and now it's gone. Would have let them take every coin to my name if only they had left me that bracelet. I would ask that what you intend to do, but I know that look. We're getting that bracelet back. I'll knock them senseless. It's what Wuklamat would want. It is probably what she'd want. Please, you mustn't put yourself in harm's way for my sake. I can assure you no harm will come to us. Zilly will make certain of that. I understand your methods can be brutal, but it would be wise to show some restraint, lest you find yourself on the wrong side of the law. Perhaps I should come as well, to be sure all proceeds as it should. I don't know what to say. I can see why Wuklamat put so much faith in you both. Before anything else, let's see her back to Sheshinwezi Springs. She'll be safer in town with Iate there to keep an eye on her. We should have nothing to worry about. Thank you, both of you. I probably should have just teleported. I've been at it a lot. Good. Aaronville told me what happened, and you needn't worry about Namaka. If those bandits should find us, I'll kick up a fuss and see them driven off. Bracelet meant everything to her, and those bastards wouldn't care even if they knew. Makes me sick. At least she's safe, and I know you'll set things right. Level 95, saddled up, complete. Level 95, braced for trouble. Alright, let's go and recover that bracelet. While I have nothing but contempt for these bandits, as this involves a gift from Wuklamat, we must be mindful on how our actions might reflect upon her. I doubt Namaka would find joy in the return of said gift if lives were taken in the process. If it comes to violence, I ask that you stop short of killing them. The rest we can leave to the Dustwatch. Now that makes me think you're strong, really strong, are you? I may have saved the star on one occasion, but more than any other adventurer. Aren't we humble now? But the matter of fact way you say that makes me think it's a tremendous understatement. Your curiosity has been sated, then please indulge mine. Is there anything you can tell us about these bandits? Let's see. Well, of late there's been talk about some unsavory types coming and going from Tonatan Yawi to the southwest. Is that the old mining town that was abandoned? That's the one. Now that ceruleum extraction is big business, no one wants to waste their time picking up the dried up veins there. Sounds like a perfect lair for bandits, not to mention that one with the bracelet fled in that direction. You'll be investigating the place? I can let the Dust Watch know if you like. No, not yet. It would be best if we went alone. There's something I'd like to ascertain if you've no objections. Right then, let's be off. New location. Seems the bandits have claimed this place for themselves. Oh. They made no attempt to conceal their presence. How can the Dust Watch not have noticed by now? Question for another time. First, we must find the bracelet. I don't see the bandit who had it. Perhaps they're in one of the buildings. Ramshackle as they are, it should prove a simple thing to eavesdrop on anyone inside. If you would go and have a look about, I'll keep watch for trouble. Bandits will not notice you here. You can safely eavesdrop on any inside. You lean in to listen, you begin to pick out voices in the muffled chatter. Don't know where we'd be without him, probably shoveling sand, praying we'd strike it rich. Ain't that the truth? Only an idiot would work the mines with easier money to be had. And when we've got the boss who can keep the Dust Watch off our backs, huh? Hey, watch what you say. The wind's got a way of carrying secrets to the wrong ears. Maybe so, but who'd ever believe one of them sainted souls was running our crew? That drunk who bought your story about the gold shiting alpaca, am I right? Ah. Conspiracy. Bandits will not notice you here. You can safely eavesdrop on any inside. You lean in to listen. A familiar voice rings out through the wall. Let me out of here, you bastard. Shut your mouth, you sniveling little brat. Make me. I'll get you all back for framing my friends. The vulture most of all. You tell him he can eat shit. How about we give you the chance to tell him yourself? We'll see how tough you are then. Bandits will not notice you here. You can safely eavesdrop on any inside. You lean in to listen, you hear someone entering the room on the other side. Brought back a prize you're gonna love, boss. Have a look at this bracelet. Beautiful, ain't it? It was made by a famous artisan. You idiot, how are we supposed to move something like this without attracting attention? Boss, please, please, I'm sorry. Reckon we can find a sailor who won't ask questions. Sell it for a song. Here, your reward, and don't bring me this kind of grief again. I won't, boss. Thank you. Finished, are you? Let's retreat for now. Oh. So, were you able to learn anything? Your leader is a man of the Dust Watch. That would explain why these bandits have been able to do as they please, and you say they gave the bracelet to him? Seems we have our work cut out for us. Did you hear anything else of note? Zakova, the boy who's confronted one of the officers in town, isn't it? You say they threatened to take him to speak with the Vulture, their leader's alias, no doubt. Fitting for a man who preys on the helpless. Well then, not only do we have a better idea of who's behind the recent rash of robberies in Ushizatawi, but we also know he has the bracelet. Retrieving it without bloodshed will prove difficult, though, if he's that quick to point a gun at his own underlings. We need to get him alone. I'll storm their hideout. I can take them. A direct approach may have served you well in the past, but it won't suffice here. Wiwute is the deputy chief of the Dust Watch. He could claim we're the criminals in all this, and no few people would believe him. I might have a plan. Small settlement to the southeast of here. I cannot pronounce. Luatene Yawawasa. Meet me there and I'll explain everything. Luat. We're to retrieve the bracelet without conflict. It won't be done barging in through the front door. We'll have to lure him out. To do that, we'll avail ourselves of dragon-like creatures that live to the south of here. their breeding season, you see, and the males will flock to the scent of a female in heat. A few ingredients and a sample of their feces, I can create an attractant that resembles this scent when burned. And then lure the into the bandit's hideout, fleshing out the vulture and his gang. And while they contend with our flying friends, we can sneak in and search for the bracelet. I'm afraid I must ask you to collect the excrement. While you see to that, I will go and procure the remaining ingredients. And before you say anything, I do not ask this because of any aversion to feces. It would simply be easier for me to find the specific species of wild plants we require. Here, take these 3 pouches, see them filled, and I will handle the rest. Oh, good. Let me wave my eyes up. Survey the area, but sees no sign of Yahakaya dropping. Survey the area, but see no signs of Yahakaya dropping. You found a pile of Yahag droppings and gingerly scooped them into your pouch. Yee kakya. Ugh. Finished already, are we? Excellent, this will do nicely. All that's left is to mix the feces with the tumbleclaw fibers, dried nopali tender, root, and generous helping of animal fat. Come, let's go back to Donatanayawa. After this. Long days, guys, long days. I passed up. Dozed off a second. Everything is ready. Time to set our plan into motion. Level 95. Brace for trouble. Can we use crit? The Level 95, blowing smoke. Oh, rather read it. A fair number appear to be gathered inside. Now's our chance. We'll keep watch from here. The attractant I leave to you. Toss it into the bonfire near the middle of town. The yeah will come soon after. Yeah. If I'd known that, I would have got so close to it. What's that smell? Ugh, that reeks. What did you put in the fire? Wasn't me, I swear. Did something die? Someone want to explain that ungodly stench to me? Was him? Obviously. Boss, over there. Huh? What in the world? Ah! Run for your lives! So the smoke's what drew them here. I swear when I find out who did this. I'd say our friends have stirred up enough trouble. Time to retrieve the bracelet. Hey, what's going on out there? Still in here in case you've forgotten. Sit tight, we'll be back for you. What? You gotta get me out of here now. They're gonna kill me. I'm begging you, please. They'll hear you. Shit, who was that? Best laid plans. Hey, are you going to help me or what? Bracelet must wait. Let's break him out and withdraw for now. All that effort and naught to show for it. Sorry about that, but damn, I didn't think anyone would have the balls to take on the Vulture. No need to apologize. We were planning to save you eventually. Really? And I don't even know who you are. You secret admirers of mine or something? Yeah. Yeah, I'm just having fun with you, but I do appreciate the help. This man they call the Vulture, I've seen his face before. Was he not the officer you confronted in town? The one and the same. When he's not masquerading as a gang leader, he serves as deputy chief of the Dust Watch. That would explain why the bandits are so confident they can avoid capture. Trying to get back something the Vulture stole, right? Let me help. It's the least I can do after you bailed me out back there. I have an idea where he's hid his cash. Reckon he's headed there now, too. We can go together. I've got a score to settle with him myself. I don't doubt that you do, but we need to know what it is first. Will you tell us? Right, so those bandits at Tonatenyawa, they're called the Daybreakers, and it was me and my friends that founded the group. But it wasn't a gang of cutthroats, not back then. We just wanted to protect people who couldn't protect themselves. Kids being harassed by bullies, workers being exploited by the mining concerns, folks who needed help to even the odds. That was 3 years ago, and whenever we found someone scheming in the shadows, we settled matters the best way we knew how. With a duel. See, by the old laws, anyone who loses in a duel must be held to account for their crimes, even those in positions of authority. We made damn sure they did every time. Before we knew it, our small band of friends commanded a force to be reckoned with. Then about a year ago, the Vulture and his thugs showed up. They got the better of us and took over the Daybreakers. Everyone was afraid of him, so they did his bidding without question, but when he showed them how they could make a fortune easily, that was when he really won them over. Now the Daybreakers is nothing but a bunch of bandits and cutthroats who prey on the people who it was created to protect. Talked it over with my friends, Quicana and Uwine, and we all agreed the only way to stop him was to challenge him to a duel. He accepted. I still remember how he gloated that he'd win. When the day came, he showed up with the Dust Watch and had my friends arrested on charges of robbery. If that wasn't enough, he set their bail at a price no one could ever hope to pay. Them locked away, there was no one left to help me. None that my old friends from the Daybreakers, and certainly not the Dust Watch. That's why you were ready to challenge him in the middle of town. I was until that guy with the spear stopped me. No sooner had I stepped out of town than the Vulture's minions caught me by surprise. They took me prisoner, then, well, you know the rest. Said the Dust Watch would be of no help. Are they all working for the Vulture then? No, not all of them. Sheriff Kamaka, he's as honest as they come, a staunch keeper of the peace. Problem is, he's a little too trusting and doesn't suspect a thing. If it were my word against the deputy chiefs, who do you think he'd believe? Well, if he knows where this Vulture keeps his spoils, perhaps he can help us recover Namika's bracelet. What do you think? For what it's worth, I have a plan, but I can't do it alone. Plan? All I ask is that you hear me out, but not here. I'll be waiting for you at Sheshin and Wezi Springs. Wezi. I guess we can decide what to do after he gives us the pitch. Mm-hmm. The hell is he? Good, you're here. This is where he hides his loot. I expect he'll show up soon. Level 95, blowing smoke, complete. Level 95, law of the land. Aaronville looks expectantly for Willow. Well, well, look who it is. Storing stolen goods here seems risky, but I suppose it's an option for someone with his authority. Yeah, he moves the spoils in cerulean barrels where no one would think to look. Mixed in with regular shipments of fuel to Tural, all where they're sold off. Said he stole a bracelet of yours, right? If he knows you're on his tail, chances are he'll be eager to get what he can for it. I doubt he'd trust a lackey with that business, given the provenance of the piece. I wager he's not letting that bracelet out of his sight till he's got coin in hand. Wasn't sure what to make of you after use of it, but I'm glad to see you're more than an impulsive child. Well, not my finest hour, I'll admit. There's a lesson in that. The vulture's a slippery bastard. If we were going to catch him, we need to back him into a corner with hard evidence. That's my plan. First, we need to lure him away from here over to Yusatawi. Would be ideal. For that, I need one of you to help me. So buy time for the other to search the barrels for any stolen goods. Using that, we'll expose him as a criminal. There's no way to tell if Wiriukte's carrying the bracelet, but regardless, there will be time enough to find it once he's behind bars. But won't he simply feign innocence? Oh, he'll try, and that's when I'll challenge him to a duel. Duel, that approach didn't work out so well for your friends, as I recall. True, but unlike before, I'll challenge him in front of the whole town. That way he won't be able to wriggle out of it like before. Every man, woman, and child of the wilds understands the importance of duels and the old laws. The deputy chief would never disgrace himself by refusing. But wouldn't you be breaking the law by using a firearm in town? Not as if we'd be using live rounds, but it's a risk I'm willing to take. What's important is that I get him to duel with as many witnesses as possible. When he loses, and he will lose, that'll be the end of the vulture. It's pretty risky to me. Plan is not without flaws, but what do you think? I say let's go have his duel. We can trust in the old laws, as long as we get the bracelet back. The bracelet's really important to you, huh? Don't worry, I'll see to it you get it back. It's not important to me, but I said I would get it back. If you're satisfied, then so am I. I knew I could count on you. I was seen in Tonatanyawi, so it's probably best I stay and search the barrels. And you're with me. Tell the vulture I tried to rob you, but you managed to overpower me. Even if he suspects a trap, he won't be able to resist taking the bait. You want to buy your friend as much time as possible and make your way to Yusatawi. Once you've got the vulture there, yeah, I'll take care of the rest. Alright then, let's get to it. Yeah, we're likely that Shatona's doing. What's his angle? And then there's the brat. It's past time I dealt with him. Well, Yute is oblivious to your presence. Perhaps a gentle poke will get his attention. What's this? An unfamiliar face in these parts. Ahem. Have you need of the Dust Watch, miss? What? Sokoa tried to rob you, but you apprehended him? I see. So desperate was he to see his friends free from prison, he turned to a life of crime. How awful. You have my sincerest thanks, miss. Might I trouble you to take me to him? Uyuti is now accompanying you. Keep him at your side in order to proceed with quest objectives. You can leave Uyuti behind by entering a different area or speaking with him and selecting the option to part ways. If you wish to have Uyuti accompany you again, return and speak with him again at the original location. Ask about Shifson and Wezi Springs. Not that this is an appropriate time for me to play tour guide, but if you insist, Sheshan and Wezi Springs is home to a thriving cerulean mining industry. The prospect of easy coin has attracted some undesirables, though. Right, our mountain zoo. I need to go get some gongcha tea so I can get that porksy mouth. Is this the place? I don't see him. Oops, silly me. This isn't the right place. Just a little further. I see. Very well. Lead on. Ask about the cerulean fields. There's gold in these fields, blue gold. Best be wary of the beast in these parts. They may prefer to snack on cerulean, but for you I reckon they'd make an exception. Is this the place then? I could have sworn I left him here. Sorry, I'm still learning my way around. There's some sort of joke of all the let's keep moving. No, not the sunbeard. This better be the place. Oh, now I remember. I left him tied up around a big rock. Must have been a different rock. My patience is wearing awfully thin, miss. If he isn't at the next place we stop, I may be forced to do something you and I would both dearly regret. You could try. Ooh, an A rank? I'm not gonna try that. Our luck with that. Ask about the Nopali tenders. Unless you'd rather I feed you one raw, needles and all. Cut the chit chat. He's not very helpful. Where are we going? Right here. Let's seize it. All right, where is he? So impatient. I don't see him anywhere. Where is Zakova? Tell me where he is, or I'll bury you in the same grave. Confounded, he must have escaped. Goodness me, where could he have gone? That's it. I've had it with these games, and I've had it with you. Hey, were you there? You looking for me? You're gonna place me under arrest, you have to work a little harder. You'll be begging for a cell by the time I'm done with you.
Wahoote! Finally caught up to me, I see.
Well, well, if it isn't our young outlaw. You've taken up stealing, I'm told. Can't say I'm surprised about that, but I am surprised that you'd offer yourself up to be arrested.
Sorry to disappoint, but you're the one who's going to answer for their crimes today.
Dun, dun, dun.
Hey, that's my jewelry!
And my bag! So you found the stolen goods. That's fine work.
This barrel was at Shisenowetsi Springs, mixed in with others bound for Tuliyola. The Landsguard would have presumed it part of the regular ceruleum shipments and waved it through. And once it reached its destination, it would have been retrieved, and its contents sold for coin.
The audacity. Do we know who's behind this?
As fortune would have it, I spied the leader of this operation being handed one of the stolen items. A bracelet, which Vau Wuklamat had intended for her nursemaid, Namika.
It was from the Vow of Resolve?
Oh, you've seen it then?
No, no, never. And if I knew who had it, I would have arrested the scoundrel.
You would have had to arrest yourself. Oh, come off it. I saw you with the bracelet.
What's the meaning of this, Wahoote?
Yeah, Woote.
It's a setup, sir. I have the bracelet, yes, but I only 'cause I found it. I swear. They're the real criminals. They concocted this scheme to frame me, so they could get me out of the picture.
If you feel your honor's at stake, there's always the old-fashioned way. The law which folks have used to settle their differences for generations.
You don't mean...
Wahute, I challenge you to a duel. The winner is right, the loser is wrong. Doesn't get simpler than that.
That's not exactly how things work, but okay.
Yeah, have at it. Let your pistols do the talking. Please, do you honestly believe you can goad me into playing your game?
You refuse then? Huh. A baby alpaca's got more fight than you.
All right, boy. But remember, you asked for this. Come on, Zakawa! Give him what for!
Shouldn't we stop him, Chief? Even if it's just rubber bullets, we're in the middle of town.
Be quiet. Just watch.
Yeah.
Oh, you little shit!
Looks like you've gotten slow in your old age, Vulture.
You and I are going to have a long talk.
I apologize for dueling in the middle of town. If you want to lock me up, then lock me up. But please, let my friends go. They've done nothing wrong.
You drew your gun within town limits. But Wahute drew first. Far as I'm concerned, you acted in self-defense. You're free to go. As are your friends.
Ha! You're not such a bad guy after all!
Just a man of the wilds, like you.
Wild man.
But to think that Wahute had taken control of the Daybreakers, it pains me that it happened right under my nose.
What are you gonna do about his crew? Some of them are still in Tonatenui.
Those who have broken the law will be taken into custody. But those who haven't will be given the chance to resume walking the straight and narrow. What about you, Zakawa? What do you intend to do now?
Why? What
Make
I've
him
always
deputy.
done. Protect the weak and help the helpless. The old-fashioned way.
Here, this was Vawuklamat's gift for someone, wasn't it?
Evidence now.
Yes. A person very dear to her.
I suppose this is where we go our separate ways. My thanks again for your help apprehending the Vulture.
That ended up being rather more complicated than expected, but all's well that ends well. You, finally over. Couldn't have brought him to justice without your help. I don't know how I'll ever repay you. Level 95, Law of the Land, complete. Level 95, on track. Aaronville is relieved to see everything set to rights. Now that we have the bracelet, let us return to Sheshinawezi Springs. If you'll be staying there long, I'd like to give you a proper thanks after I find my friends. We weren't planning on it, but there's no need to rush. We'll see you at the springs then. My bracelet, thank you. Thank you so much. This is more than just a gift. It is a part of me I could never hope to replace. Truly, Wuklamat is blessed to have such devoted friends. Well, I wouldn't put it quite that way. I prefer to think of us more as long-standing acquaintances. You're still on with that, huh? Regardless of how you choose to describe it, there's no denying the depth of your bond, though I'm sure you'll continue to do so. Can't say I'm surprised the deputy chief turned out to be the bandit's leader. I always knew something wasn't right about him. Easy claim to make with the gift of hindsight. Yeah. Boy, right. There you are. The real Daybreakers have arrived. I'd like you to meet my two best friends, Quicana and Lewine. If it wasn't for you believing in Zakova and doing what you did, we'd still be locked up. You have no idea how satisfying it was to see that bastard Wihute put behind bars. We never gave up hope that Zakova would find a way to get us out. He always was the best of the Daybreakers. Glad he was able to convince you to go along with his plan. Fortunately, our group is smaller now and lacking in strength besides. Some outlaws might see us as an easy target. Even so, if anyone should give the Dust Watch the slip, the Daybreakers will be there. We'll train night and day so no one will get better of us ever again. Isn't that right? Right, and you'll teach us how you draw your pistol so fast, won't you? Well, we won't need to duel if it all goes as it should. On the off chance it doesn't, we best make sure everyone can match or beat my speed. We owe you a great debt, and one of these days I'll be sure to repay it. Oh, that you have my word. That you have my word. Till we meet again. You'll excuse me, I shall find a quiet place to rest. I'll be here a while yet, though. Do let me know if there's any way I can be of assistance. Were you not planning to take the train home? Oh, train service has been suspended, didn't I tell you? Oh. You mentioned no such thing? Something about the tracks being damaged in the last quake. The tunnel was closed as well. An earthquake. It must have happened when we were still down south. Been quite a few tremors of late, and a rather large one struck not long before you two arrived. I can only hope no one was hurt. Something ominous. At any rate, if you want to know when service will resume, you could speak with the station master yourself. Let's do that. The station is just over there. Seems people aren't too happy about the train delays. I think the tracks are busted.
I'm so sorry, but we're not sure when the train will be running again.
You've got to be joking. Of all the places to get stuck at on the way.
Please don't tell me you've come to complain too.
Now we come to suggest trolleys.
We heard that the earthquake had caused disruptions and wanted to ask when operations would resume. But I see that it will be a while yet.
I'm afraid so. Too few hands for too much work. It's time-consuming enough to inspect the tracks after every quake, but this last one we got after the succession ceremony was massive. Made a mess of a whole bunch of railroad ties.
The succession ceremony? We would have been in Tural at the time. If it
we
was
would have
as
felt it.
violent as you say, we should have felt it as well.
I have to admit, it was a touch strange, having seen my fair share of tremors. If I had to describe it, it felt more like the rumbling from an explosion.
Dun, dun, dun. Curious there and curious.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Seriously? You're offering to help?
What about you, my friend? If you'd rather strike out on your own, I understand.
Though, if you were willing to lend us a hand too, we'd be truly tremendously grateful. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm Shenza, by the way. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. If you would please step inside, I can introduce you to everyone.
Sorry for dragging you into this.
There they are. That's them, the two volunteers. Walika is our station master, and over there is our top driver, Nitoikwe. And this grizzled mug is Zopia, an engineer who joined around the same time as me.
Much obliged for the help. I'll make it worth your while, I promise.
Trolley flashback.
Something the matter?
You happen to be a fan of trolleys.
Trolleys? They're fine, I suppose, but they're no match for our cerulean-powered engine.
She's absolutely glorious, let me tell you. If you'd like to bask in her beauty, well, you should visit the depot behind the platform.
Right then. What I'd like you two to do is help us procure timber. We'll be using it to fashion new railroad ties, so it needs to be the strongest stuff we can get. In these parts, that means the trees in the Piata-Yonan Plain. It is Hetsaro territory, though, so we need to get their permission first. Come on, no time to waste.
Ooh. Though no small number live in Shaoloni, I must confess that I've never visited the home of the Yetzoro. As they largely live in accordance with older traditions, I suspect they may have a dim view of the railroad. Level 95, on track, complete. Yay, level 98.